Well, the terminology steeped in tradition certainly applies to my next guest. The Grant family have been involved in harness racing for close to 80 years. I caught up with Darren Grant in one of his very rare appearances here at Club Menangle. Darren, good to catch up with you. As I mentioned, one of your rare trips to Menangle.
It is, yeah. I don't get down here often, so it's nice to have a horse good enough to come down.
Fascinating story, Darren. You've been telling me about the family tradition with harness racing commencing way back in the 1940s.
Yeah, my uncle Toby Grant, he's 92 this year. He started it, and they were in the late 40s and 50s. Toby and my father Kevin used to bring him down on a train, race at Newcastle Friday night, catch a train back to Maitland Saturday night, race there, back on the train Sunday back to Manila, which was like 45 minutes past Tamworth.
Did I find that fascinating, loading the horses up on a train?
Yeah, sleeping in stables, all sorts of stories, and eventually they'd buy cars that would break down halfway and all sorts of stories that sort of made me fall in love with the game, yeah.
And how many horses would they have in work at any one time?
Oh, they were very similar to me, young families working, so they only ever had one or two in work. Yeah, Dad was more into breaking in and shoeing, so yeah.
Yeah, your dad was certainly a big influence on your career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he dragged me and my brother Dave around the countryside camp drafting and doing the rodeo circuit. And I think it was about maybe 89. He talked me into getting my driver's license. So I did that for a couple of years for him. And then he was killed in a car crash in 92. So I basically took on the training role of the stable. We had a few in work at the time and shoeing for a lot of the customers that he had. And 30 years went like that, yeah.
It's always been, as you mentioned, just a small team.
Yeah. Like I say, when Dad died, we were renting stables. So my wife Nikki and we bought 50 acres, built a house, young family. It was just a lot safer to work, train a few. Nikki trained as well. She was a decent trainer as well. So it was always more reliable just for us to pay the bills that way, but you never know. Maybe once it's paid off.
And your son Matthew followed in your footsteps for a short period.
He did. He was a good young driver. Still is a good young driver. Smart driver. Does his form well. But he's actually working on a cattle station an hour north of Mount Isa now. So he's up there breaking in, shoeing, cattle work. A bit of camp drafting as well, so he's followed me into the camp drafting as well. Yeah.
Darren, you're no stranger to hard work yourself, an apprentice industrial blacksmith for BHP.
Yeah, I was the last apprentice to go through BHP before it closed. And I'm 51, so that says a lot. But I've been working at Reliance Hexham now for 27 years. I was blacksmithing there, but when an opportunity came to move into the office, I've had the double hernia operation and all that sort of work from the hard, heavy lifting. So I'm in the office as sales and marketing now. So certainly done a lot of breaking in and shoeing myself. So yeah.
Well, there's no harder work in racing, full stop, than being a farrier.
Oh no, I quite enjoy it being a blacksmith as well. I've always been able to make a shoe to help some horses. It's hard work, but yeah, once you're conditioned to it, you get through it.
And you're involved with the Mind maintenance company.
Yeah, Reliance Hexham. So we still have blacksmiths. We're into heavy lifting, mining equipment. So the cages that take the guys up and down the mine shaft, we build the cages, we make the equipment that holds them, we test it, certify it, all that type of equipment.
Apart from all that, you managed to fill in some time as a director with the Newcastle Harness Racing Club.
I did. I did 12 months on the board there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think more people should get involved in it. Everyone's got the answers and knows what we should be doing, but not many put their hand up to have a go. So I did. I put my hand up to have a go, but I've had a fair bit on of late, so I have stepped back this year. I'm not on board at the minute, but certainly helping wherever I could.
Yeah, it's a pretty fair argument you put up with. It's not bad for the participants to see what happens on the other side of the fence.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's we all have ideas on what needs to be done or what we could do, but you got to have the dollars to do it. Sponsors, just feet on the ground, getting things done. So certainly worth opening your eyes and getting on board and having a go.
And what spare time you do have, you're involved in coaching soccer.
I am, yeah. All my children played soccer. My youngest daughter, Ava, she was playing for the Jets only up until recently this season. She's more focused on her schoolwork, so she's dropped off, and both her and my middle son play for the Maitland Magpies in reserve grade. So I coach the 18s. So yeah, I really bitten more off than I could chew, so I just have stepped back a bit.
Darren, you've always had a fair horse in your stable. This youngster you're here with today, Corlett for the Australian Pacing Gold, that's nice.
She is a nice filly, yeah. She's a very nice filly. We had a few setbacks with her as a 2-year-old, but as a 3-year-old, this is only her 4th start today, so she's still learning. But every time I ask her to jump the bar, she jumps it. So she's improving every time she goes around.
No doubt. Fond memories of the performances of Miss Trocadero.
Yeah, she's a nice mare to me. No world beater, but you know, she would win a race every 3rd or 4th start, and just a reliable mare. She actually broke down on me, so we've retired her to the breeding barn. But yeah, Corlette's a nice replacement.
Now, those colours you're wearing, the yellow and black with the white, stand out as the West Tigers colours to some extent. Any involvement there as far as rugby league is concerned?
I played for the Maitland Pumpkin Pickers, played a bit of league myself, but I did follow Balmain as a kid, and then when the Knights come into the competition, I followed the Knights. But these are actually my colours. I've mostly worn my father's colours up until now, but and these were Nicky's colours as well. So just a little bit of a change. Yeah.
Darren, it's nice to meet someone from the Maitland Pumpkin Pickers. You're the first one I've met.
Yeah, it's a very famous club. They actually had a lot of players that have played for Australia that played for the Pumpkin Pickers, yeah. So.
Oh, could you name a couple for us?
I think John King, he coached as well. I couldn't name him off by heart, but yeah, in the early sort of 50s, 60s, 70s, they had a lot of Australian representatives, yeah.
Well, Johnny King's not a bad one to hang your hat on. Of course, a great St George winger. Great for Australia, and certainly the Johnny King-Can Irvine wing combination, when you had Gasnier and Langlands in the centres, pretty hard to beat.
He was. He actually coached me when I was at the Pumpkin Pickers, and probably taught me a little bit about interval training too. Plenty of 200-metre sprints with him. But yeah, he was a good guy, good coach, good player.
Darren, it's been great to catch up with you. Good luck with Corlett today.
Thanks, mate.